up, beautiful people? It's me, Tara J, back again with another one, of course. So today, again, we're just going to be chit-chatting a little bit about everything that's been going on and just everything around the world. Because who's going to talk about it, right? Everybody got something to say. I feel like if you got something to say it, make it be known. And that's what I'm doing. So before we get into that, I do want to make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell right next to the subscribe button, so you know every time I post a video, okay? Let's get into it. So as we all know, the riots, the looting, the protesting, all of that stuff started to die down, right? But we still have this thing going on where, okay, that's what we're gonna call this. I'm just coming here to encourage the non-African American people to educate themselves, and I'm just here to educate you a little bit too. Okay, so let's talk about it. So now that everything has been winding down just a tad bit, people are still signing petitions. People are still protesting in different cities. People are still making it known that Black Lives Matter, right? So let's get into that. I want to start off by letting you guys know that by Black people saying Black Lives Matter, that's not us saying all lives don't matter except Black people's. That's us basically telling you guys that all lives can't matter if Black lives don't matter, because we're human too, right? For example, I read this quote today, right? I wrote it down for you guys. It says, when people are screaming, save the whales, why aren't people as triggered from that, them saying save the whales? Because at this point, I guess we're forgetting about all the other mammals too, right? No, it doesn't mean that at all. Save the whales does not mean forget all the other mammals. It's mean that the focus is on the whales right now and what the whales are going through, and we want you guys to join that movement too. Or imagine this. Imagine going to a breast cancer protest, movement, rally, whatever the case may be, and you see somebody with a sign that says, all cancer matters. It's like, what? We're not ignoring all the cancers. Today is breast cancer day. Something happened amongst the breast cancer community, and we're making it our main focus to focus on that one specific thing. Like, I don't understand why people get so triggered, or whites or other ethnicities get so triggered when Blacks say Black Lives Matter. Because it's not that we're not saying all lives don't matter. Like, I don't understand that. And the main people that yell all lives matter are the main people that are prejudiced. The main people that are not educated. The main people that don't really care. Like, because you're instantly, that's what you instantly go to. You instantly go to when someone says Black Lives Matter. You're not thinking about like, oh, okay, Black lives do matter. You're absolutely right. You're not thinking about saying, okay, well, what happened to this person was wrong. I'm going to educate myself to get to know more about Blacks in the Black communities. I'm going to be a part of someone else's lifestyle to better them. Your instant response is to scream out all lives matter, which is something that I don't understand. So another thing that I want to just talk about, that when it comes to good cops, bad cops, fearful cops, things like that, you guys are so quick when cops do something wrong. You don't want to defund the cops. You don't want to do anything. Mind you, I'm all about defunding the cops, definitely, because they're definitely using their power way too much. They're definitely using it way too much. People are losing their lives, and people are not paying the consequences behind losing their life. So I think that something needs to happen further with that. But when it comes to good cops and bad cops, we're not saying like all cops are bad cops. We know. There are some good cops out there, but it are bad cops too that are using their power to their advantage. So when we say defund cops or F12, we're talking about those specific cops. And then you want to use the excuse as, oh, Well, some cops are fearful of their life, so they have to protect themselves. So you mean to tell me that being a black person walking up the street or being stopped by the police off a traffic light or just because that person shouldn't be fearful of their life? Like, I don't understand the argument behind police have to be protected. They have to be on defense at all times. They're fearful of their life. We don't know if the police officer could be sitting in the car and someone walks up with ill intentions or good intentions. We don't know. Okay, what about a police officer walking up to a black car and snatching somebody out of the black car because they fit a description that they're unsure of? What about that? Like, I don't understand. Like, and you guys, what do you call that? Like, is that not racist? And then when people I read another thing today about someone saying, why does George Floyd death have to be viewed as a racist attempt rather than something terrible that happened from a terrible person? No, nobody sees that when they look at the video. What we see is a man filled with ego, filled with white supremacy, filled with I don't give a F about life or humanity itself because I'm above you and you're beneath me, sitting on a man's knee for 9 minutes. And if that's the case, if it's not racism, show me the time where that's happening to another ethnicity that's not black. Specifically, tell me a time where that's happening to a white male. Because there's been plenty of times where whites are shooting up the place, shooting up schools, shooting up churches, like all of that stuff. And then you want to scream black on black crime so much. But look at the statistics behind how many school shootings have there been. Look at the statistics on how many all kind of just shootings, period. Malls, schools, churches, all of that stuff. None of those people are not black. So we can technically call those people terrorists, right? Since we're calling the rioters and looters terrorists, even though there's plenty of ethnicities mixed in with the looting and rioting. I've seen plenty of videos of that. They're considered terrorists in the media, right? So what about all of those people that's like, oh, shooting shit up just cause? It's the mental illness? Like the lady in the gas station, her husband she got slapped by a lady because she was trying to use her white power to tell I'm not sure, she could have been Hispanic, Dominican yellow lady to get out of there and go back to where she's from. All that nonsense. And she got her ass slapped, as she should. Because why are you in her face? Why are you even bothering her? Leave her alone. And then her husband is coming on the camera talking about it's her mental illness that he's been working on for a really long time. Or when a white kid shoot up a school and killed 300 people in the school, oh, he had a mental illness, we're still working on that. Or when a white boy go into a church and kill church full of black people, oh, it's not racist, it's not a terrorist attack, he had a mental illness. How do you determine what the hell a mental illness is and what it comes from? Because black people got mental illness too. Mental health is a serious thing that y'all can't categorize and use to your offense when you feel like it. So when it comes to a terrible person versus a racist, or using your white power to do whatever you want, that was just that. And we're not basing this one thing or this one police death off of, oh, everything is racist. That lit the fire. That basically, the bomb went off when that occurred. We sit back and people want to say forgive. Hell, we damn near been forgiving you motherfuckers for 400 plus years. Like, what else do y'all want us to do? I don't understand. And then you call people the radical lefts or the blacks or those people or niggers or things like that when you feel like it, basically. But when it's us and we're coming at you and you're so offended, shouldn't be happening, this is unfair, I feel unsafe. Why aren't blacks ever able to feel unsafe? Why are they always have to feel like the person that's doing the danger rather than in danger? It's not making no sense to me. It just does not make no sense. When it comes to all lives matter, I would never understand the fact that you guys race to say that so quickly every single time something happened with blacks and they say Black Lives Matter, because you are not saying all mammals matter when you motherfuckers are screaming save the whales, or save the pandas, or save the tigers, or save the cats. Let's go shelter some animals. Like, I don't get it. You are not going to a cancer event, a breast cancer event, and you're sitting here and you're saying all cancer matters. I don't get it. Why not? Somebody please tell me the difference between the two. Comment below and let me know why people don't scream out all cancer matters at a breast cancer rally. What is on my lip? Excuse me. Comment below and let me know why people don't comment under things like save the pandas, save the cats, save the mammals, save the whales. I mean, not mammals, save the whales. Why nobody comments under there saying save all mammals matter? Like, why? Somebody tell me why whites or other ethnicities are so triggered when blacks scream Black Lives Matter. Why? Because to you don't see color, right? And that's the problem. Blacks see color because we're black and we have a bunch of different shades amongst us, and we see other people that are not like us not treating us the same. But you don't. You don't see that because you don't see color, so you don't see this discrimination. You don't see anything but you in your own line, your own tunnel of whiteness. So excuse me for being confused and not understanding why I would never ever say, I mean, I strongly believe all lives do matter, but I'm going to always stand on Black Lives Matter first. And if you got a problem with that, that's not my problem. I don't care, because until I see a mass of other people that aren't my skin tone scream Black Lives Matter, like the stuff that's been going on lately. It's been a nice amount of people that aren't black that's been saying Black Lives Matter, but those people, they know who they are. And if you're one of those people that's looking at this, until you're able to accept and understand and educate yourself on why Black Lives Matter and why blacks are so belittled around just everywhere, then you can come talk to me, okay? Oh, and here's a disclaimer. If something negative is being commented underneath this post, it definitely will be, underneath this video, it definitely will be deleted. So if you have any negative things to say, don't say it at all. Or if you have something nice to say, go ahead and say it. But whatever I choose fit, it will be deleted. Okay? So here's another thing that I've been looking at. People are saying, look in the mirror first. It starts with you. Okay, so what about those people that are aware of themselves? What about those people that are in tune with themselves spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, all those things, that understand, and they don't see sex, race, color. I'm not going to say color because that's BS. They don't see like sex, race, or anything like that. They're looking past all of that stuff and they're getting to know that individual person for who they are. Not those people that say, oh, I have black friends. Not those people though, but the people that are in tune with themselves and are well aware. They go through life every day treating people how they want to be treated. Because everybody was raised on that. Treat people how they want to be treated. And racism is taught. So what about those people? So how do those people look in to themselves? What are they finding? Like now we're putting everybody into this one box to make it start with you when everybody isn't doing anything wrong. I personally don't think everybody is doing anything wrong. I don't personally think that that's something that we should say. Like, I feel like looking into yourself, starting with us, that's starting with self-love. Like, I don't personally think racism stems, I mean, it has everything to do with self-hate, but it doesn't at the same time. I think it comes from like, I'm better than you because somebody told me that. Or you're dangerous because somebody told me that. Like, something that's not created. Like, self-love is something that is like within you. Racism is not within you. Racism is given to you as you grow up. So when people say start from within, don't put everybody in the circle of starting from within. Like myself, I'm personally accepting of everyone, unless you rub me the wrong way or a situation like this arises, and now I'm looking at I'm gonna stand with my people for sure. But I saw a video the other day, right? And this man, while he had this black man in a handlock in a grocery store, he whoever was recording the video was screaming about Black Lives Matter, and he was just like, F that. If I'm saying this wrong and I offend anyone, I do want to apologize. I think he said like Palestinians or something like that. I could be pronouncing that wrong, but if you understand what I'm saying, great. He was saying, what about that? What about our lives? Our lives matter. What about that? What about that? As he was choking this man out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, looking in the mirror is a selfless act. But it starts with self-love first. Loving yourself fully. If you are able to love yourself fully, then you're able to love someone else. But if you aren't able to love yourself fully, you're not going to be able to see the world fully for what it is. So starting with you starts with just you as an individual. It doesn't start with your likes of someone else. It doesn't start with, this person is not like me. It starts with just, do I like me personally? And it's a bunch of people out there in the world that really likes themselves, and they're still racist. So not like, looking in the mirror first, that's a little, I don't know how that sits with me. I'm just not sure how that sits with me. And then on another topic, the youth, each one teach one. That's my favorite. Well, one of my favorite quotes of all time. Each one teach one is something that all people live by. I mean, I'm not too sure about all people. I can't really say about all people, but I know in the Black communities, that's something that we actually live by. Each one teach one. No child is left behind, kind of thing. That's something that I for sure was raised on, and that's something that the whole entire world needs to adapt to. Each one teach one. We stand together. If we stand together, we're together in unity. But if we stand apart, we're gonna all fall. And that's what happens when you raise your child on something different. If we're all raised on the same thing, like love and accepting one another and humanity and compassion and empathy and equality, the world, that would be a change. That's when the change starts, when you're teaching the next person on what to and not to do. When you're teaching the next person to be compassionate, to empathize, to not to dehumanize anyone, that's when the real change happens. And it's people that's 40 or 50 that still needs to unlearn things, and they're refusing not to unlearn things. And in order for them to unlearn, in order for there to be change, a lot of people do need to unlearn the things that they were taught from their ancestors. And that's where the problem really lies to me. And then another thing is, they're pointing the finger at people and saying people need to start speaking up when they see wrong things happening. I mean, people are doing that now. People are starting to record. People are starting to record police officers, record this, record that. But in the event that they have something going on in their lifestyle, in their life that may hinder them, or they're afraid that encounter may happen to them, what are they supposed to do? Like, for instance, most of the time people record things and not jump in because it's the police. It's simply the police, and who knows, it could, if I'm jumping in trying to get this police officer off this man, it could be me face down on the ground right next to the man, and now we both dead. How about that? It actually takes someone of the same authority, or someone somewhere to say, okay, this is not right. Like the lady that got fired, the police officer, the black woman police officer that got fired for stopping another cop choking a man out. And for some reason she got fired, and they just left it at that. So if you see that petition, make sure you guys go ahead and sign that petition, because that don't even make sense. Also, what doesn't make sense is, how did you guys pass a law for Breonna's murder but don't arrest the killers? You see, I can't even put the sentence together because it just does not make sense. Like, we're not, I feel like what's going on right now is they're just trying to throw things at us so we can calm down and go to everyday life, not realizing that this situation here shook the whole entire world, and it ain't dying down no time soon. Nobody is letting up. I mean, some people may be letting up, some people may be forgetting, but at this point in time, I pray to God that nobody is letting up. I also pray to God that things get better. I also pray to God that people really, really, really start educating themselves on other people's lifestyles. I also pray to God that people start accepting people for who they are and not who they want them to be, or not because they're black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, green, the Shrek doll. I don't even fucking know. I just pray that people realize that unity is something huge, and that's something that's definitely needed. So I don't really know, but I know that another black man was shot and killed in Wendy's, and they burnt Wendy's down to the ground because of the cop killed him after Wendy's called the cops on him for sleeping in the parking lot. So that, and also another thing I want to mention before I close this out is that, so it's been a lot of black people being found hung from trees. So if it's not a racial thing, please give me some kind of link or some kind of article or some kind of picture or some kind of something that shows me a white person or a person of non-color being hung from a tree. And tell me how your president is going to do something about that. Like, for starters, I don't personally care for Trump, but the things that he say makes me cringe a little bit. He put George Floyd in the same sentence as the word economics. Like, how the hell do you connect the fucking two? Like, for starters, we're talking about police brutality over here and economics over here. I get that you trying to develop the economy and all of this kind of nonsense like this, but as the president of a whole entire country, bro, you really, really, really need to say something about your police force killing, rather than summing it up into one sentence saying should not have happened, you're sorry, etc., etc. You need to continue to move forward. Black people don't care about how many black people you have speak about how the economy is better and what you did and what Obama failed to do. We don't care about those black people. We care about you acknowledging what the fuck is happening right now. Police killing us black folks as a whole. It don't scream black on black crime, because if you really look at it, especially Chicago, I haven't heard, read, or seen anything connected to black on black crime since George Floyd's death. So if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Okay? Anyways, guys, when it's time, I hope you guys voted the states that have the opportunity to vote. Make sure you vote for city councils. Make sure you vote for school boards. Make sure you vote for senators. Make sure you vote for presidents. Make sure you vote for every thing that you can possibly vote for when it's time to vote, because your voice matters. Do not let anyone tell you that your voice matters. Do not allow your community to stop you from voting. Do not, if you got to travel on the bus, there's always a place this is for Chicago specifically. There's always a place where if you can't find where you're registered to vote, you can always go to anywhere downtown in those buildings, government buildings, to vote. You may have to wait for a really, really, really long time, but vote. If you're not registered, get registered. If you don't know where to go to get registered, look it up. Everybody has their cell phones. Everybody has internet. The library is free. Your cousin, auntie, grandma, somebody got a computer. Speak, talk about it, ask questions. Your voice matters, and make it known and make it matter. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with these few quotes that I read today. One quote is, it just takes one person to stand up for what's right to drive change. The next quote I have here is, if you are neutral on situations of injustice, you've chosen the side of the oppressor. The next quote I have is, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. The next quote I have is, the last quote here is an example of why I don't understand the all lives matter thing and why people scream it so much versus Black Lives Matter. Here's the scenario. All the houses on the block matter, right? Right. But if one catches on fire, the focus is on that house, right? Not all the other houses, because all the other houses is not on fire. We don't focus on all those other houses until the whole block is on fire. But if one house is on fire, the firefighters are going to focus on that one house to get the fire down so the fire does not spread, right? So if the other houses are not affected, it's not like we don't care about the houses. We just care about the one that's affected the most, if that makes sense. So with that being said, guys, I just pray things get better. We continue to forgive. We're going to hold the grudges for sure. But I just pray that the hatred don't continue to grow. And like Martin Luther King said, this is the last quote that I have. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Okay? Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Of course, I'm Tara J, and I'm out. Peace.